My God. My God. Son of a bitch. How did Inter Miami not win the fucking match? In the bracket video, I had Inter Miami finishing as the runner up in the group to face off against uh, PSG. And I know that all Ollie, they should have been up 2-0. They should have been up 3-0. If they made their penalty kick, if they made their freaking chances on these easy one-on-ones with the all-out attack in the first 10 minutes of the game, you know, that team was looking like they were a team uh, that won the Egyptian top flight 45 times. But their finishing was shit. Like, they were just giving life to Inter Miami. Like, in this high humidity environment, it's like all these Al Ali players, like, I know they live in the desert. I mean, they're used to playing in high temperatures, but it's a dry climate. But the humidity, it seemed to get to them. And Inter Miami should have finished the job. And uh, Messi was really unlucky. Like, that short corner that deferred to Lionel Messi and that shot outside the box, and it was on target um, at the very tight corner of the goalpost. Like, that was a goal. That free kick. Mamma mia, that free kick. It was this close, this curler into the corner, and it was this short, and it reached the netting. Like, it looked like it was a goal, but it was the netting outside of the goal post. So Inter Miami, they're just not going to win the FIFA Club World Cup. This tournament is too big for them. But I still think they make it to the qualification stage of the knockout, and we shall carry on. We shall carry on. That's all I have to say. We shall carry on. But Al Ahly deserved to win, but when they were missing all of their chances, it's like Inter Miami had a chance because they were missing their chances. So uh, that Messi free kick, oh my God, that was just so. The opening match of the FIFA Club World Cup, a scoreless match. Like, fuck all. I'm not gonna watch the rest of this fucking tournament. Like, this guy had two chances to score. He was very unlucky both times. The 94th, 95th minute, the goalkeeper has a miraculous touch. Messi with the insanely, unbelievably accurate shot slash cross outside the box. I thought it was going to be a cross. But it looked like this guy was really going to take a shot outside the box. And at the very tip of the goalpost, he was on target. He was on target. This goalkeeper, uh, he touched the ball with his very pinky. I swear to God, he was very unlucky. Al Ali deserved to win, but then because they were missing their chances, Inter Miami deserved to 1-0. But It was, it was the most entertaining of all entertaining 0-0 draws. But these uh, these Egyptian guys, like, they were shit too. They couldn't hit their freaking chances either. They were garbage too. No one want the Inter Miami keeper kept him in the game. Like, but even when he kept him, that header by the guy with the afro, that header there, how did that not go into the net? I swear to God, it seemed like it was going to go on forever. The goalkeeper was cramping. The header by the guy with the afro, how did that not go in? Son of a bitch. All that matters is Inter Miami is going to go up against PSG in the knockout stage, and Al Hilal, here we come. Al Hilal, here we go. They were very unlucky. They were very unlucky. But that was bullshit. I under 2 goals. Oh my god. Mamma mia. That's enough with that. I don't know where the football pyramid is heading to. If it's rigged, Al Hilal is going to eliminate Man City and they're going to eliminate Bayern Munich, I think. One team that can make the semifinal that's outside of UEFA, it's Al Hilal. It is Al Hilal. Joe Burrow is going to conquer the AFC. As far as Trey Hendrickson goes, Trey Hendrickson, it is such high drama. Like, is this guy going to get traded? This and that. Here we are. It's mid-June, June 15th, at the tip of the hour. June 15th. Training camp a month away. Joe Burrow's going to defer some salary. Joe Burrow's going to pull off a Tom Brady and say, I'm going to keep this brother here for another year when you bunch of cheapskates. And Trey Hendrickson is going to get a 1-year contract, and he's on the Bengals for another year because Joe Burrow deferred some of his salary in the name of keeping Trey Hendrickson on the team. This is my prediction. Is Joe Burrow is going to make it happen. Joe Burrow to make it happen. What if Trey Hendrickson doesn't secure a deal until week 6 or week 7 and the Bengals lose against the Lions and the Ravens? Then Trey Hendrickson will be the difference maker. Trey Hendrickson holds out without a trade, then damn well Bengals going to lose against the Lions and they don't play the Ravens till November, but they're going to lose against the Lions, and I forgot who else they play early on the season, the Bengals. They play another good team. I think it's Green Bay, because they play the AFC North. So Hendrickson, bottom line, is going to stay on the Bengals for 1 year, win the Super Bowl. He'll get a big contract somewhere else after he wins the Super Bowl. He'll get a high salary this year, but he'll get the high salary this year, win the Super Bowl, because Joe Burrow's going to defer the salary, but he's going to be gone after this season. He's going to be gone after this season. But if Joe Burrow's going to win the Super Bowl, he's got to beat all the best quarterbacks. Burrow got to beat Mahomes. He has to beat Josh Allen. He has to beat Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow is going to beat all of them. The Ravens are going to be a favorite to win the Super Bowl. The Ravens are going to get the key regular season wins, but then the thing about the NFL is that these owners who founded teams like the Giants and the Steelers and the Cardinals, like their horse track rank owners, like they are big into the illegal horse track betting. So the top bet to win the Super Bowl, it seems like it always collapses. So let's rewind and let's break down last year. The top bets to win the AFC and the NFC were the Lions and the Chiefs, and they both lost. Super Bowl 58 was the Ravens and the 49ers. Well, Ravens didn't even win the conference, 49ers didn't even win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57, the most popular bet to win the AFC was the Buffalo Bills. And of course, they didn't win the AFC. So this is what I mean when I say that these illegal horse track owners, like the Rooneys and the Bidwolves and the Maras, they know how to influence the public. Now, it's guaranteed that the Ravens are going to be good this year. The Ravens are going to lose out on the Super Bowl because too much money is on the Ravens. Like Lamar had a big year last year, but it didn't mean nothing at the end of the day. Lamar is a choker. His postseason stats are terrible. It's like 7, 8 fumbles and 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Like this guy is simply a Dak Prescott in January. When I look at Joe Burrow, he is 5-2 in the playoffs. He is a big baller performer who already defeated Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. He plays with a cheapskate organization, a team that doesn't spend money in the free agency, you see. And they don't have an Andy Reid as a head coach or a John Harbaugh, you see. So Cincinnati, they're getting carried by Joe Burrow. This guy, I'm not calling him GOAT. I'm just saying he's the best quarterback in the game because stats don't lie. He beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. He defeated Josh Allen in the divisional round, and he plays with the cheapskate owner. I think the Bills are better run than the Bengals. I think the Ravens have had a better all-around roster than the Cincinnati Bengals. But what the Cincinnati Bengals have is the best all-around quarterback in football. Patrick Mahomes just has a great supporting cast. Joe Burrow really is the elite of all the elite quarterbacks in the game. That because the Eagles had a better team than the Bengals. You put Jalen Hurts on the Bengals, he ain't shit. I mean, you're a product of your environment sometimes. And the Bengals are one of the cheapest teams in the league. But there's one guy that can overcome. It is Joseph Lee Burrow. They locked up the wide receivers, but at the end of the day, wide receivers don't win championships. Just ask Terrell Owens who went on the Eagles, he didn't win anything. Just ask Antonio Brown, he didn't win anything. Cardinals had Larry Fitzgerald, but you don't win the Super Bowl with the elite wide receiver. thing with Jerry Rice is that he already had an elite 49er team. The Chiefs didn't have an elite wide receiver. They didn't need Tyreek Evans. Elite wide receivers are prima donnas, and quite frankly, they're not as important as the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen and the linebackers. You have a good strong side linebacker. You have a good weak side linebacker. They know how to read the pass coverage as well. They know how to close the gaps in the running game. So these are the kind of things that don't pop up on the stat sheet, but are important in winning a championship. And the Bengals don't have to lock up Trey Hendrickson for 3 years. I think they can win the championship this year. You can let Trey Hendrickson walk after you win the Super Bowl. You just lock up this guy for another year. Now, franchise tag, they already tagged the wide receiver. So, obviously, Jamar Chase got a deal. Who's the good number 2 wide receiver on the Bengals? My Cardinals play the Bengals on Saturday in December, and I'd be stunned if the Cardinals beat the Bengals. Joe Burrow's gonna torch the shit out of the Cardinals, and we'll still make the playoffs because we're playing the AFC South. Now you get too overblown with this Donald Trump symbolism for the NFL, and the full-blooded black guy did win the Super Bowl, but it doesn't come with the caveat. He did throw an interception. It was carried by a great team. So, you know, you could put a backup quarterback behind center. It's like Philadelphia Eagles had a dominant defense. You saw how they destroyed Washington. It was a low scoring game in the snow, and I think what was it, a stupid safety or something that Jalen Hurts committed? I mean, he was a product of the system. Anybody who says Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow is a fucking moron. The Eagles have a better team and a better roster than Cincinnati. Quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls all by themselves. They need a certain supporting cast to win. They don't win the battles in the trenches. The Eagles won the battles in the trenches, and they had a better team. And so Cincinnati, you see, Joe Burrow doesn't have the defense of the Bills, the defense of the Ravens, the defense of the Chiefs. But and I haven't even talked about Joe Burrow's offensive line. Despite a dog shit offensive line, what was the stats for Joe Burrow? Come along now. Tell me the stats. 4,900 yards, 70.6 completion, 43 touchdowns. He had his best season with a terrible offensive line and a dog shit supporting cast. This guy has matured beyond our eyes. The Bengals finished 5-0 last year. They won all the rest of their 5 games. San Francisco is 50. San Francisco is the San Francisco Bay Area is hosting the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the entire league. Joe Burrow didn't pull an Eli Manning. He didn't say, I wanted to get traded to the New York Giants or some other team out there. You see, he wrote it out. He already carried the Bengals to the Super Bowl. He already beat the Chiefs. He already beat the Bills. Lamar Jackson has not even beat the Bills or the Chiefs in the playoffs. But Joe Burrow has. He can win any regular season game, any day of the week against Joe Burrow. But in January, I'm taking the guy who's 5-2 in the playoffs. Stats don't lie. What is he? 3-5 in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson? He lost to Ryan Tannehill. Joe Burrow's 5-2. He beat Burrow and Allen. Regular season's meaningless. One guy can keep the composure. One guy knows what it takes to win games in January. It ain't Lamar Jackson. He's a regular season merchant. We say merchant, and the thing that comes to mind is SGA and his shove-offs and his baiting of fouls. But you see, Lamar Jackson is a regular season player. Interception, a costly fumble, Lamar lost in the game. It wasn't Mark Andrews. Everyone likes to blame Mark Andrews. It's both Andrews and Lamar's fault. It's both Andrews and Lamar's fault. They're in a situation where they can avert a Mark Andrews drop if Lamar doesn't fumble and Lamar doesn't throw the interception. Lamar is a playoff choker. He is what he is. A playoff choker. And Joe Burrow is his daddy. He can win all the meaningless regular season games. Let's talk about the meaningless regular season. What was Jimmy Garoppolo's record against the Rams? 8-0 in the regular season. But in the NFC Championship game, Jimmy Garoppolo lost against the Rams. It didn't matter if he was 8-0 in the regular season. He lost in the NFC Championship game in the year of Super Bowl 56. So the regular season is meaningless. I'll pinpoint to that Jimmy Garoppolo example. His record against Lamar is meaningless when you get to January and February. The NFL doesn't need Patrick Mahomes to be in the Super Bowl every single year. And now, what was it? 5 out of the last 6 Super Bowls featured Patrick Mahomes? Something like that. 4 of the last 6 Super Bowls. So, 53, he lost the AFC title. 54, he won. 55, he lost. 56, he lost. 57, he won. 58, he won. And 59, he lost. There's plenty of star power to come along in the AFC. There's Lamar, and there's Josh Allen, and there's Joe Burrow. So Patrick Mahomes is not needed to give the NFL. NFL was just riding off of the Taylor Swift hocus pocus. They were all about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift brought in extra people. They wanted to watch Travis. You have two factions, the Taylor Swift girls watching them games, and everybody who's a bandwagon Kansas City Chiefs fan. The opposing faction is the people who are sick and tired of the Chiefs. And there's going to come a moment in time where they're going to tune out of the NFL. The Super Bowl ratings are just fine. They gave the public what they wanted. The Eagles winning, and Patrick Mahomes wearing the green jacket. You see, but now you still have big names that people like to watch. You have your Lamar-Jackson. You have your Joe Burrow. You have Josh Allen, and let's include Justin Herbert because I think the LA Rams are going to be a team. The LA Chargers, excuse me, are going to be a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. Now, I don't think they win it next year, but they're going to build a foundation for the next couple of years. LA Chargers, the AFC is as stacked as it's ever been. Now, Mike McDaniel can be fired. If the Dolphins miss the playoffs, the coach getting fired. Here's a coach I see getting fired. It's the Miami Dolphins coach. Because his record in the wild card is bad, even when his team is clearly inferior to that of the Bills or the Chiefs. But this guy smokes. I don't think he smokes weed. I think he does the hash oil, the dabs. He does the dabs. Now, I've been a big dabber before. In this dabs, you be talking about this hash oil. Almost pure THC. This guy is high during the press conference. And this team carries itself like it is coached by a guy who is very high and doesn't know when to take a big fat hit off the dab pipe. And he knows when you don't need to be high and peaceful, making peace with the world like you a hippie. Mike McDaniels has to be warlike. When you're an NFL coach, you have to be warlike. You don't want to be high all the time. That's his problem. You have to have high intensity. And this is where Mike McDaniels fails. He's taking too many hits off the pipe before the press conference. That's my problem. And Aaron Rodgers will certainly keep things interesting. You'll stay in a playoff race for a certain amount of time in the regular season. It can be a late season capitulation. It could be a soap opera that the players simply start quitting on Aaron Rodgers and they're sick and tired of the Mr. Diva and let me get attention to the media kind of act. And he could get injured against the AFC North, against a Pittsburgh, against a Baltimore out there. Who knows? That there's too many elite teams in the AFC. Aaron Rodgers can still produce statistically, but in a very tough division, the NFC is the easier conference. Nobody in the NFC wanted to sign Aaron Rodgers, so that's where lies the problem for Aaron Rodgers. I kind of still think the Vikings should have signed Aaron Rodgers. Now, J.J. McCarthy had a great running game. He was a play action product in the system. But is J.J. McCarthy a starting quarterback in the NFL? I don't think so. He had a great supporting cast in the college game. He didn't have to throw 300 yards in the NCAA. I mean, now that's a team that's not going to make it back to the playoffs. There's a few teams out there that are not going to make it to the playoffs that made the playoffs last year. Those teams include uh, the Rams are going to miss the playoffs. The Cardinals will make it, but at most they'll make it to the divisional round. They have no chance of making the conference title game. Jared Goff is a nemesis of the Arizona Cardinals, so will we play the Lions? I have no idea. Will we be one and done? Yes, because Kyler's mediocre and Cardinals have a bunch of average quarterbacks on the schedule. I know they're playing Joe Burrow. I know they got San Francisco, but we got the Saints quarterback, the Titans quarterback, Colts don't have a great quarterback. Texans are a great team. They'll be tough. Uh, um, Sam Darnold's a product of the system. I think it's going to be issues. We've had our fair share of wins against the Rams, but I think we may be one and done in the playoffs. At most, we only win one playoff game. We should be in the playoffs because there's easy schedule to the NFC South, but Kyler Murray ain't that guy. It's purgatory for this franchise, and they don't know how to land a good quarterback. They were lucky that Jesus Kurt Warner decided to sign with the Cardinals, and we made the Super Bowl with Jesus Kurt Warner. I thought I had my Cardinal beanie out there. I guess not. I think our first loss is against the 49ers, week 3. We have no business losing against the Saints or the Panthers. I think we'll lose our first game against San Francisco. Rookie quarterback on the Titans. Anthony Richardson is terrible. There's another rookie quarterback. I know we got Cincinnati, but it's gonna be this team should make the playoffs, but they'll lose in the playoffs. I can see Packers Lions, or I can definitely see a Lions losing against the Eagles in the regular season. Maybe Lions beat the Eagles in the playoffs. The Lions lose the matchup against the Eagles in November. The Lions are going to lose against the Eagles. So some same old Lions kind of talk out there. Like Cardinals got slaughtered by the Eagles on Thanksgiving, the year they made the Super Bowl, and they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. They got destroyed by the Giants. They got destroyed by who the hell was the Vikings quarterback? Tavares Jackson? So we destroyed Carolina and we beat a rookie Atlanta quarterback and we beat Donovan McNabb. I was at the NFC Championship game 2008, 2009. But we ain't got no chance of making an NFC Championship game. We're probably one and done in the playoffs if I ever tell it to. I like Marvin Harrison. I like James Conner is a top 5 running back in the league. McBride is a top 5 tight end in the NFL. I just think this team is handicapped by Kyler Murray. I mean, we got great players, but I think this team is handicapped by Kyler Murray. I think they got to get rid of him some way, somehow. If Cardinals make the playoffs next year, that just gives them an excuse to keep Kyler Murray. Yeah, good call. Good call because it was Huntley or Ravens backup quarterback played in that playoff game against Cincinnati a few years ago. So, but Burrow is going to lose in the regular season against Lamar. He's going to beat him in the playoffs. I'm going to bet on the Ravens against the Bengals in November, December. Burrow's still better than him. Lamar's on a better team. And in the playoffs, you just have to win on third down. You got to be like Eli. You can win on third down. Ridiculousness, win on third down, and you know, they do a great job of rigging these games in the playoffs, keeping them exciting and all that. So Lamar's going to sell certain times of the game. The pass rush won't hit Joe Burrow a couple times, and he's going to produce in the playoffs. And my top bets to make it through the NFC in the multi-future parlay is the Lions and the Packers for me. It's got to be a new team. But with the Lions again, they're going to have better luck with the injury situation this year. They're not going to have 18 guys on the injured reserve list. They're going to make it to the Super Bowl when they don't have all the bad luck like they had last year, with 18 guys on injured reserve. So Hutchinson is going to be he's going to be there for the playoffs. He's going to make the difference, and the Lions defense is able to force some turnovers, and Jared Goff is not going to sell and start target. When Jared Goff threw the interceptions, he was purposely targeting the Washington defensive back. So he's not going to sell this year. I mean, this is all to get you to think that he's some kind of playoff choker. Yeah. We saw the NBA Mafia this year. The NFL is no different than the NBA Mafia. These double-digit odds on Stephen Curry and Joakim LeBron, I mean, I don't know who the public's going to bet on for the NFC, but for me, the public may just override the Super Bowl bet, the conference bet. So they won't even bet on the Lions to win the NFC. They're just going to go ahead and bet on them and win the Super Bowl. Which team would win their first Super Bowl? Oh, that's right. You Cincinnati. You think Cincinnati have a chance if they haven't won a Super Bowl before? I mean, I think this is the last year the Bengals can win. I think this is the last year the Bengals can win. Because the old Trey Hendrickson situation, I doubt they are going to develop a good pass rusher. And it's like gamble and keep Trey Hendrickson for just through next year and let him walk in 2026. And Joe Burrow may sacrifice his salary this year to ensure that he has a chance to win the Super Bowl. I think Joe Burrow is going to be the guy because the Bengal owners are cheap, So Joe Burrow may be the guy that's going to defer some of that salary to another year. Joe Burrow is probably going to defer some of his salary to next year in order to secure a deal for Trey Hendrickson. I think Joe Burrow said he was willing to do that. I think. No, what's the latest scoop on Joe Burrow? I mean, guys have won with bad defenses. Eli Manning had like the 27th ranked defense, and he still won the Super Bowl. So Chiefs had a great defense. You needed a great defense to win. Trey Anderson's a baller. Bengals need this guy out there on the field. Joe Burrow is really developed amongst their eyes. Joe Burrow can win with any weak defense. This guy really is Superman. I'm convinced he's Superman. There's room to improve in every area, Burrow said. Movement, accuracy, spin rate, bigger, faster, stronger, all the good things. Oh, he's 28 years of age. Super Bowl's on 2-8. Joseph's 28. 68% career completion percentage is just insane. Give this guy a semi-competent defense, he can win the Super Bowl. Can't you sacrifice some money to do or die this year if you're Mike Brown? I mean, this guy's useless. He's 9 years of age, but this guy's a wasted old fuck. He's a greedy, cheap Republican, so that surprises nobody. He's a greedy Republican. All he cares about is his wallet. He's a greedy Republican. He's not Jeffrey Luria. This guy's a liberal. He's all about winning. He's all about caring for his fan base. Mike Brown is another typical greedy Republican, and the Bidwells of the Cardinals are also greedy Republicans as well. These greedy Republicans don't give a damn about their fans. All they care about is their freaking wallets. But when you're running a sports organization, you should be about winning the Super Bowl at whatever cost. But that's what you get with greedy Republican owners like Mike Brown and the Mike Bidwell of Arizona. Hopefully, if the Dangle defense ain't good, that they just get some. They're one of the best defenses at forcing turnovers. Even if they give up a lot of yards or something, give up a lot of yards, but force the turnovers. Super Bowl 60 odds are out. Who has the best value? The Reddit r/sportsbook. Bills lock it in. Can thank me later. 49ers. 49ers are Atlanta. Well, if you're talking about value, Cincinnati has got value. Commanders are going to flame out. A sophomore year, they're going to get used to this guy. The Washington Commanders are not a team that's going to make it back again. I never knew it was taking about just 60, but the Lions are going to win that game against the Bengals. They're going to win that game. Commanders, 100 million in cap space. Bengals. Joe Burrow's playoff record is a reason why this team is going to be a sleeper. 5-2 in the playoffs. He has a history of winning games in the playoffs. One of them includes a rigged game as a de facto road team. They were LA was a home game. The Rams were the home team. It wasn't a neutral site game in that Super Bowl. Eagles are going to lose. I feel sorry for anyone betting on San Francisco. This is not a pandemic. They don't allow teams to make it to the Super Bowl in a non-pandemic year. Teams to make a home Super Bowl. My top best value bets are Bengals to win the Super Bowl or the Packers to win the NFC if it's somehow not the Lions. Those are the top value bets. If the Lions choke, I can see Green Bay being healthier, wide receivers. They did a pretty fairly good job, I think, in the wild card round of keeping it competitive. Matt LaFleur's gone to the Final Four before, so I think in a multi-future parlay hedge, I think Lions NFC, Packers NFC is a good hedge, I think. Everyone's saying 49ers are Commanders. People like the Bungles. Mayfield's going out to the Super Bowl in the 39th day, so Tampa Bay is going to be a contender. They should win week 1. No, we ain't got no chance. Cardinals low key, no, we ain't got a chance. We ain't got a chance. A lot of people say Bengals are a good value. Texans are the other one. Commanders is the other one. It's going to be Joe Burrow. It's going to be this guy. The guy who beat Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be this guy. Simply enough.